Welcome all.
Welcome one and all. Another episode of Figures Not Included.
We're back, baby.
We're back.
Fresh from WonderCon.
Fresh wash of WonderCon was a beautiful thing here. Always Mikey Figure Report, Ed, and from the
Hidden
darkest
Temple.
reaches of hell, Larry.
Hidden Temple Toys.
The
And
darkest
Larry
corners.
Abaddon.
From Abaddon.
The
Welcome,
anus
everyone.
of the world. Hey, Atlanta. No.
So happy to be back and happy to be back home. Happy to be back here with everyone and just kind of reminiscing over WonderCon and what an amazing experience. Just a quick shout out to everyone, the Toy Arc, Robo, all sorts of other people that shared our content and sharing our photos and videos and stuff. So that was really cool to see, and such a cool experience to be over there at WonderCon, Ned.
Yeah, we had a really great time. I mean, like we said in our capture there, it was quite the impromptu trip. But at the end of the day, we had such an amazing time. We got to meet some amazing people, see a lot of amazing stuff. So I mean, it was just a great trip. You guys missed it, check out our last podcast where we kind of recapped everything we did there. There's also some great interviews on our channel. So check those out if you hadn't seen them yet. And yeah, so it was a really great convention. I really hope to do it again and do other great conventions in the near
Yeah, super great. Larry, what were your thoughts on WonderCon?
No, I wish I was there. It looked awesome. Toy Fair was awesome. Like we said, it's smaller,
Toy
less
Fair's old
people.
news. We're talking about WonderCon now.
No, I know, but I'm trying to compare the two because I was able to go to Toy Fair. WonderCon looked like more the comic books, toys, all the cosplay, all the fun stuff. That looked really good.
You love your
The
cosplay.
reveals, like you said, the Jada reveals, the Mondo reveals, the interviews, all the stuff. People were really excited about all the stuff that was shown, and it looked
Yeah,
really, really awesome.
super cool stuff. So again, a shout out to everyone that used our content, because use me,
Use us, we beg you.
please. But yeah, great stuff. All right, let's just get to it. Let's get to the hot toy news of the week. We had the Marvel Legends stream, and obviously this has been a big point of contention every time. There's never ever any issues, obviously, when it comes to Marvel Legends, but
They always hit a home run.
always hit a home run. No one ever had any issues at all. So let's just go through it really quick.
It was an interesting reveal. They had some very cool characters, like everybody likes an updated Daredevil, especially with the Born Again show being very popular. So we're excited to see that. Some Thunderbolts figures that were kind of fun to look at, but my thing was that we've seen these figures already. We have them already in quite a. I think they did like 3 of these of what's this guy's name? Soviet
Red Guardian.
Guardian. And we got
Senior Soviet. Yeah,
exactly. It's like, yeah, it's I know it's the new movie, a little bit of a different look, but for me, it wasn't super exciting to see more of these already so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, they have the movie coming out, so obviously they're going to promote it. But these are just simple reissues. But we do have Sentry.
He's cool. I think he's like the dark horse from the Thunderbolts, a character we haven't seen yet, a very popular character from the comic books. And so I think people are very curious to see what he's going to be like in the movie. What's he going to look like? So this was a cool little sneak peek at the character from the movie. So I did like that. Hopefully it ends up being a fantastic production. Everybody's been kind of on the fence on Marvel right now, just because they've been struggling for a while with their shows and their movies. But I'm hoping that the Thunderbolts is really going to break that. I think hopefully it'll come back to classic good MCU stuff, and we're going to get a really fun story.
Yeah,
cool characters.
They look fine. Spider-Man 3, black costume Spider-Man. They showed that one off. That's been a
emo Spider-Man.
Emo Spider-Man.
Larry's favorite.
Larry, I mean, look at him right now. He's just all dark in his corner.
I know, in his cave,
His
his
cave.
emo.
So he's showing his
I
feelings.
know.
You can see it on
Listen to
video.
Marilyn Manson, feeling his feelings.
My
Uh,
Chemical Romance.
okay, there we go.
He likes that Gerard.
So you had emo Spider-Man using that same movie buck.
Yeah, same thing, just recolored. A little kind of goofy Toby emo head, which is pretty funny. But
It's got big old schnoz on that one
oh
too.
yeah, they also gave him a little bit of symbiote goop for his head, kind of looking at the Venom face. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just a repainted Toby, and obviously this is not the fan favorite of Venom. I mean, this was pretty a sad excuse for Black Symbiote Venom. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know how many people are super excited about this figure, but hey, it's there for those who want it.
Do you remember your feelings watching Spider-Man 3 after
Oh,
the high of 1 and
it
2?
was terrible. I remember watching it. I'm like, what the hell am I watching? This is so bad. How did they go so wrong? How do you take such a great character and cast Topher Grace to be this, Eddie Brock, this big tough
The
guy?
Topher Grace. Come on. That 70s show
Yeah,
Topher.
no, sorry. And then the Venom, when he finally gets the Venom suit, it was just so badly done,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was a disaster. I left the theater very disappointed because I was a huge Venom fan, and that did not deliver.
I remember watching it and just sort of being, what? What was
I
that?
know.
What happened? And it all started interestingly, at least with Sandman. That felt very much in the Raimi wheelhouse, and then it just sort of lost itself along
Yeah, it
the
fell
way.
apart.
But then, with all things, like with the prequels with Star Wars, they start to get a new life, many years later, and so I think that's now what
Yeah, I
we're.
think people started appreciating it for more of a shtick, of how like weird and kind of confusing it was at the time. So,
Yeah,
it goes down in infamy as like a really weird. I mean, especially like the emo Peter Parker and his weird dancing montage. I mean, that was just ridiculous at the
yeah.
time, but now I guess you can look back about it and just kind of laugh and be like, that was so ridiculously bad. I gotta laugh about it nowadays.
It's all you can do because if you don't laugh, you'll cry.
Yeah. What about you, David, with your mascara and long bangs? What did you think about when you watched this movie?
Yeah, it was the same. It came with such a high note that you're in with the trilogy of Raimi. Everything was going well, and it killed the series. Raimi lost his job with Spider-Man, and they had to reboot the whole thing. That's how bad it was. So
Yeah,
extremely
and
disappointing.
he came back. He came back with Doctor Strange. So
Yeah,
We'll
but that
see if he does
multiverse of madness.
anything.
That's I don't know if that's redeemed him that well either.
maybe not.
Well, we'll leave Raimi alone for now. Hopefully, he'll come back with a better movie and just kind of solidify himself again
Yeah.
in pop culture.
We had this junk here from Gamerverse. I mean, there's no
More Gamerverse. I was like, why more
Yeah.
Gamerverse? They just did a whole
Who,
wave of
who,
Gamerverse. I'm
who
like, do
was
we really need
asking
another
for
one?
this one?
Not
The,
me.
the Velocity suit. Who's been saying, yeah, make the Velocity? I'm not gonna be a negative Nancy. It's a Walmart exclusive. That's good for them. Good for Walmart. Okay, so we had these two. We have Jean Grey, Professor X. Professor X is out right now at Target if you can get them. And then Jean Grey, I believe, is going to be out soon or is out. But now you
I
have
like I
another
like I like those. They were really fun, and anything X-Men for me is enjoyable.
X-Men.
Uh, the problem with a lot of them is just a lot of repeats, kind of like this guy here. We've seen Wolverine, Weapon X, and okay, yeah, they did a little pinless action here, but the whole point of redoing a figure is to improve upon it, and maybe they improved upon the pinless part. But oh my gosh, the head sculpt on this character. I mean, the first one was ridiculously bad. This one, it seems like they're making fun of us now. They're like, "Oh, you thought that was bad? Let me give you
Check
something
this out.
way more intense here." And so, yeah, I was not a fan.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, they were saying if you give him a lot of hair, he does have a lot of hair. This one has
Yeah,
so
they're
much
just missing the mark on the face sculpt
painted
for
hair.
this one. I don't know what's going on with Marvel. Sometimes they do such a great, or not Marvel, but
Hasbro.
Hasbro. They sometimes do such a great job on some of their sculpts and stuff like that, and they just blow you away. And then other times they just really, screw the
it's
pooch on some of
well,
these
it's
sculpts.
it's a big toy company. It's a big company in general. So mass produced figures are usually not always going to hit, and sometimes they always do. I think last year was a great
Yeah.
year for Marvel Legends in general. They had a lot of unique figures, a lot of interesting releases, and this year so far has been a little,
Yeah, I just
they've
think they
been
need
kind of
a Vedder, someone, they need Eddie
better.
Vedder out there
Eddie
just,
Vedder did it better.
singing his songs and making sure that this stuff doesn't get through the production stages. They're like, "No, go back and do it again because this looks like a poop."
Who's our Pied Piper out there who's fight
Yeah,
for us and sing the songs of
ex
woe for
exactly. So,
for this
eh.
injustice?
Yeah. So, it's, for people who love Weapon X and just want a cool Weapon X, put the helmet on there. You don't have to look at that ugly mug
Yeah.
and you'll be good to go. But, for, like I said, a figure that we want an improvement on, that they're willing to make another one, because the other one came out, a few years ago?
Yeah, what is, I don't. I just don't know who was really asking for Weapon X, but whatever. Some
Another
people want.
one. There's so many other ones they could do. Why are they repeating something like this? But hey, that's their choice, I guess.
What are you gonna do?
And it is an exclusive, right?
Yeah,
It's Target exclusive. He has his big old 80s cell phone dangling on his waist,
Hey, you
and
need that banana phone,
banana
when you need to
phone.
get in touch with somebody to help out. So he
Yeah,
needs it. Don't
I feel
don't
like that. I feel
don't
like that's
mock the banana phone.
don't mock the banana phone. So this one, busted face, but yeah. Okay, so that one is a Target exclusive on the old cardback, and we have Mystique, which had been a requested figure, but I'm not sure how requested.
I don't know why this is a
Her on
requested
VHS.
figure, because they've already done her like 3 times,
Well,
you
she got
know?
double elbows, double jointed elbows now. So
Okay, great. Another double jointed elbow, but it just seems like, why, I don't know, maybe like you said, they're popular characters and people want them, but it just felt like these were just a lot of re-releases with a little bit of improvement upon it. I
yeah,
think this is the same head sculpt we saw, very similar to the original one. I don't really see much difference between the elbows. I mean, the same outfit,
yeah,
everything,
yeah.
Maybe if they would have given us more heads, more, accessories or something to give her kind of duality, and when she shapeshifts and stuff like that or something. But it just, we've seen this already,
Yeah. Yeah,
I
we
don't
saw
really
this
need, I'm
before.
not going to pick up another one. This one doesn't do anything for me to be like, I need this one to replace my other one.
Same. I still have the first version that came out at Walgreens.
Oh, you like that terrible Toy Biz version, don't you?
That one.
Remember
Yeah.
how bad those were?
I mean,
Oh, wow.
who doesn't love those ass cheeks
It's so
from
it's so
Toys R
funny
Us?
too, because when that one was the only one available, all I wanted was a good looking Mystique, because she's such a cool character, and they were coming out with some other cool Marvel Legends, but some of them weren't made yet. So you set all these like fugly ones from the Toy Biz era, and you're like, I want to replace some of these girls, and then finally they did such a nice job, and I was really really excited about it. I love that figure, but like we had the VHS one, we have this one. It's like,
Yeah.
let's get something new out there. Where's Lady Deathbird? What's her name from the Shi'ar? I've always wanted that one. Why don't we have Deathbird yet?
Mm-hmm. What about you, Larry? How you feeling?
Yes, I mean,
Here's the Buster
Mystique
one
is a
you're
really
talking
cool
about
character.
from
Sure.
Toy
That's
Biz.
the
Oh,
one. Look at that.
Oh baby, look at how she squats.
back
I
in
like
the
a
days,
lady
all
that
you
stands
had,
like a duck.
That 5 head.
Oh God, that's like a pupil that's just there in her eyeball.
Yeah, that figure was not their best. They struggle with the female figures. There's notoriety in how bad some of their female figures were. So it's happy now we're getting some really nice looking
Rough.
female figures, but hopefully,
Yeah,
we'll get
real,
more. 'Cause I
real,
remember that
real,
came out, and I was like,
real battle axe. That Mystique. Look at that.
yeah.
oh, the
Well,
only thing I can think of is maybe people they think people want to collect them on the retro card, the cool
Yeah,
designs on the cards, and people aren't opening them, and I don't know because there's
yeah.
not a lot of
it's not
reasoning they
enough.
can
It's
have
not
for
enough.
Mystique right after they had the VHS one out
I
though.
mean, at least that Toy Biz has some shading on it. At least Toy Biz actually there were a lot of effort put into it, not just one flat
I
piece.
mean, for the time, it was cool because we haven't gotten anything like that, so I can understand that. This was probably my favorite reveal of the bunch, the 2-pack here. I wanted an updated Madame Mask, and I love the way this one looks. And then Crossbones. The last
Yeah,
Crossbones was fun, but this one seems to be much more, you know, well put together. The sculpt is much nicer on this one. So this is one of those when you look at and you're like, yeah, I would probably upgrade the one I have for something like this.
yeah, for sure. And this one, yeah, old crossbone body, has the pins in the legs, so a little half reuse. I don't know if you guys care about that. Larry, you said crossbones was your favorite of the stream too, right?
Yeah, that's why. Those are my 1A, 1B. This 2-pack. So
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm like, if you're gonna, this is what you do. If you're gonna redo something, improve upon what's been out before, And these are definitely improvements on the ones that they had put out. So, I get that.
and for those, these characters haven't been put out a ton either. So it's also cool to have these again.
Yeah. All right, and now getting. Oh, we also have one more She-Hulk in the Fantastic Four with a new alternate head. She looks cool. I'm
Again, it's like if you like Fantastic Four and you love She-Hulk, I get it. It's really nice, but we just got a She-Hulk, last what year was it?
last year. Yeah,
Even
yeah,
sooner
last
than
year.
that.
Yeah, last year. Here.
And there she
Yep.
is. And it's just really just a repaint with an extra head. I like it. I get it if you want to put it in with her Fantastic Four and stuff. But again, it just seems a lot of like reissue, re-releases, nothing really new.
Well, let's get to something new. The Maximum Hulk, which everyone loves, just like they loved Maximum Spidey. This is what they had teased for a while with the missile, the rocket that disassembles, you can tear apart. Here are a few pictures of said Hulk. Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
I was really looking forward to seeing something amazing being a Maximum series. I thought, okay, well they're pulling out all the bells and whistles, the sculpting, everything. I mean, like I said before, the Maximum Spider-Man is probably the best Spider-Man they've put out to date. So I had high expectations for this Hulk, and boy, did they under deliver. I mean, wow, this for me was a disaster.
A
It was
travesty of epic
yeah,
proportions.
just way off the mark. I don't know. They put their B team on this guy thinking, oh, it's the Hulk. He's an easy sell. But wow, those head sculpts. I'll talk about bad head sculpts. Whoever is sculpting their faces nowadays needs to find a different revenue source because this
Yeah.
this is not their career path. I'm sorry. I don't want to be mean, but it's
But
just
you're being mean. You're being
That's
so
pretty
I
mean.
don't
mean.
want to be
I
mean,
don't
but it's
want to
just
be
like
mean,
no, it's
but
just like
they
you
should
can't say it any
get
other
fired
way.
and do
This is
something
just
else with their
not
lives
their
because they're
forte.
terrible at this job.
No, they're just not. That's just not. This is not what we're looking for.
No, we're looking for. No, yeah, I know they're based off three different artistic versions
Mm.
of Hulk. Interpretations. Was it Ed McGuinness one with the screaming head? I forgot the other two. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you're pulling from. They have to really
They got to
work.
look right. They got to
Yeah,
look accurate. They got to look
so
good. And
look right. And
I mean,
also, what also doesn't look right is that most of the body is reused, right? The big thing with Maximum is that you're getting sort of either a newly tooled or
yeah,
fully new
that
sculpted
was
figure, and this is just the reuse of the 80th
that was a
Hulk.
big point that they talked about with the Maximum Spider-Man. It was, from the ground up, rebuilt, completely new. And really, all we got here is a reuse of the previous one with a new vinyl, chest piece that actually doesn't look very great. I mean, it did good because it hides the butterfly joints, but it's
Yeah.
atrocious around the waist. So it's like you
Well, you
fix
can
one
do the
part,
clap now. You can do the
but you
clap.
do the clap. You can do the clap. It's,
You gotta do the
I don't
clap.
know. It's a funny looking thing. There wasn't a lot of extra accessories with this one. That was a big thing. Also, they told it with Spider-Man. He came with so much stuff. This just it looks like the same stuff you would get on a regular Hulk. I still think the
Yeah.
king of Hulks right now is my main man here, Maximum. I mean, Immortal Hulk from
That's your
House of
Maximum.
Select. This is my Maximum Hulk. I mean, honestly, this thing is just perfect. And I don't really see this Maximum Hasbro one outdoing what the Marvel selected here.
$60. How do you feel about that
You
price for
know,
that sort of
the
figure?
price. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the price points just in Maximum series in general, but I thought this would probably be a little higher just because it's a Hulk and it was bigger. But I think it just reflected the fact that yeah, it's not the best figure, so we're not gonna try to overcharge on this one. And they
Yeah.
only charge what, $5, $10 more than the Maximum Spider-Man at $60 here.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maximum Spidey was 50. This is 60, and considering that it's a lot of reuse, 60. Yeah, I mean, we're entering this new era of more expensive figures, obviously, and now with
Yeah.
domestic lines sort of trying to reach that level of higher quality and higher prices, it sort of blends the line of what is worth it, what's worth the
Yeah,
value
and
there.
I appreciate Marvel or Hasbro here trying to improve upon things and try some more things you see on import figures, kind of like the vinyl bodies. You see a lot of that from Storm Collectibles, adding a little more joints and stuff like that. But yeah, they're just for this figure specifically, they're just not there yet.
Yeah,
Um,
this one seemed it needed to cook a little longer in the
yeah.
can, so to
For me,
speak.
I think this is an
So
easy pass. I like Hulk figures. I know a lot of people just love Hulk, and they'll take them any way they can get them. But for me, I'm gonna stick with my Marvel. My Marvel Select Immortal Hulk.
yeah.
That's why I'm
Here's
not
a
I'm
little
not as
video.
down.
Sorry, Larry. Yeah, there's a video here of MCU collectors showing. He took an actual little clip of Dwight
Give someone
showing.
else a chance, Michael. Stop hogging the mic.
I'm gonna give it to him. I just want to show off the video of the soft chest. Speaking of
Oh yeah.
soft chest, Larry, how do you let us know what you think?
No, that's the part I'm not as down on this as a lot of people, especially the Mean Man Ed. But I like the you can do the thunderclap is cool. I mean the cut with the soft vinyl is pretty bad on the waist. But they put the toe joints in there so you can do a little toe articulation. And I like the screaming head, the Ed McGuinness screaming head.
You would like it.
That's the one I like. So at $60, I do think that is a decent price, especially people probably expected 70 or 80 maybe for this.
Yeah.
But if it was $80, people for sure would have been screaming bloody murder because
Well,
I
if it was
think
$80,
60 works
yeah,
a little
60
bit better.
for sure. 60 makes sense. For considering the reuse. I think the 20th was, and that brought multiple heads, hands. It brought a base as well. That was 40-45, I believe.
I think it was 39.
Yeah, 39.99.
It wasn't. It was 39.99. So I was saying that the other day. It's like that. I felt that Hulk was done better, had plenty of stuff, and it was not overpriced like this one. So
This
yeah,
is more like a deluxe sort of thing. I think that
yeah.
was consensus. And Ryan Tang, he, and first of all, cool dude, genuine dude, and shout out to him for going on a Wade's podcast, Wade's show on Parallel Universe. I don't think he called it a podcast. He called it something. He that guy's weird, Wade, but that's a whole other story. So Ryan was on his show talking about Maximum Hulk and saying that, and the one thing that sort of triggered me, if you want to say that, or just went,
You
was
get triggered pretty easy, Mikey.
triggered. Yeah, I'm a soft boy. I'm a soft boy. I'm a soft chested boy. And he mentioned how, him, Dwight, Dan all have their own definition of what maximum means. I think that's a slippery slope to go down because
Yeah,
it should be a very clear, defined thing of what maximum entails.
exactly. And I think they kind of set the bar with the Maximum Spider-Man, thinking that this was going to be, rebuilt figures with the best, Hasbro has to offer right now in toy production, and just, jam pack it with some good accessories and stuff like that. For me, that's what I was expecting from a Maximum line. I thought this was going to be like the what do you call it? The top of the top tier figures with
Top of
everything possible.
Yep.
And yeah, so when this one came out, like I said, for me it was a big disappointment. Not at all what I was expecting. You know, it's not completely terrible, but yeah, for the price point and for being under a Maximum banner, I am not excited for this at all.
Yeah. Me
But you know
neither.
what I am excited for, Michael?
Tell me.
G.I. Joe reveals.
Really quick before we go to GI Joe. Okay, Maximum. In your perfect world of Maximum, what is the maximum Marvel character you want in that line, and what do they bring?
Man, you really like to stretch this out like turkey, don't you, Michael?
Gotta stretch it out, baby.
All right,
Just
Maximum. What's
put a
my
little
favorite
kibosh.
Maximum?
Put a little kibosh. Put a little spin on it. If we can
Yeah, I get you.
sort
I
of
get
develop
you.
it
Yeah.
better.
Oh, that's a good question. Maximum.
And
There's so
they
many
gave
cool
some teases.
figures. What was that, Larry?
They gave those little teases too.
Little teases. I'm gonna tease you. Oh yeah, they did do a little tease, and everybody suspected it'd be
Jugger.
the Juggernaut himself, from the MC Marvel vs.
For the
Capcom games looking
MC
thing.
Capcom. Yeah, yeah. Yes, that is the tease. They mentioned something bigger. If you look at any still from Juggernaut's super, he has the effect on his head. So
Yeah.
he does a Juggernaut smash. So
Yeah.
that seems to be the tease. Curious how they're gonna do that one because
Yeah.
Maximum
Hopefully,
Hulk wasn't a good precedent.
yeah. Hopefully, it doesn't stink it up like the Hulk did. Hopefully, they really go all out on a Maximum Juggernaut. He's such a cool character. He's like so oversized, and you could do a lot of cool things with him. So hopefully, we'll get a lot of neat things. But they did a great stuff with the Juggernauts they've already released. So I am be hard pressed to see what else they can do besides adding some like smash effects.
Yeah. So I mean, So what would be your maximum character if you could pick one?
Oh man, there's so many great Marvel characters. Let me take a look here. You know what? I'm gonna stick with my main man himself, Wolverine. I
Okay.
know there's a million Wolverines. They've done a lot of things, but I don't know. I don't really know what you could do for a maximum Wolverine, and maybe that's why I would like to see it. What would a maximum Wolverine? What could they do that they haven't done already? That's really gonna take a Wolverine figure to the
To
next
the next
level.
level. Yeah.
So that would be cool to see. What about you, David?
That one, I mean, from what that tease, people are saying that's Gambit, but maybe Psylocke. I would love a Maximum Psylocke. Get some females,
Oh, you like those
Maximum
thunder
figures in there.
thighs?
It sure does.
Like you say, an awesome Psylocke figure, Maximum style would be pretty cool.
That would be cool.
You, Michael?
Um, I was thinking about Wolverine. I thought a Maximum Magneto would be great.
Magneto is such a cool character.
That's a good
I
one.
love the Mafex one. It's one of my favorites out there, but I feel like they just had not done a really good quality Magneto yet.
Mhm.
So I think that would be great. A Maximum Venom, you could do that. I feel like they have not perfect. They've done so many Venom. I'm saying character. They've
Yeah,
done quite a
it's
bit.
hard on these
But
characters
it's
that
hard
they've done
to
plenty of, but it feels like there's still like,
well,
a
Thor.
version out there that is gonna like just blow you away that really
Yeah.
on everything. I don't even know what, like I said, with Wolverine, I don't even know what that would look like. But I guess that's what makes me interested to think what would they conceive for a maximum version of some
Right.
of these super popular characters.
Maximum Thor. I feel like the closer we got into a really great classic Thor was the Mafex one, and that was a little bit short, a smaller size Thor.
Yeah.
So
Well, the Mesco is about to produce the Jack Kirby one, so
yeah,
that
yeah.
one's looking real nice. We'll see
And
what that looks like when
and
it
they teased
hits.
the Hulk too. So
That's right. I think a lot of people too maybe will pass on this Hulk in hopes that the Mesco Hope,
a lot of Hulk.
the great green hope of the Hulk will blow us away. But
Yeah.
yeah, so to move on here quickly, GI Joe, we finally got some renders. And the one we teased about last time, the one I was really excited about, is Cobra Commander in his armor. Thing looks
Yes.
sick.
Yes.
I mean, holy moly! I'm
And they
super
threw in the
excited.
Serpentor
Yes,
with them as well, which is amazing.
so
You want
fun, so
such
cool. So
cool
yeah, this is
detail.
definitely on my hit list. I just love the way this thing looks. So very excited to see it.
LD, you're a big Joe head. How do you feel about these renders?
Yeah, they're all gonna come to
Oh,
my
great.
collection,
Yeah.
and I think we talked about it. They did show the Cobra Commander is a little more chromed, a little shiny.
Yes. Yeah. He'll
They
be a
kind of,
little.
I think they're in the between, not too shiny, but more shiny than the original figure. I think it looks really good.
Oh, David, like a barracuda, loves those shiny objects.
Those thunder thighs, shiny objects. We're learning a lot about Larry David as
David's want list.
David's Den.
Shiny under thighs.
And that guy is awesome.
And
That
of
guy.
course,
We've
this.
seen this render, but yeah, this one you can't
Yeah.
beat version 4 of Snake Eyes. Super excited.
G.I. Joe, you just can't go wrong with him, man.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see what they'll show off at Comic Con, which is 3 months away. So there's still some time. They might do another stream, but always excited for what they got to show. What I'm excited for as well, and we talked about Hulk. I'm gonna get to Hulk. We're gonna go back to Hulk in a little bit because I got a little game I want to play with you guys to test your Hulk knowledge. So.
Ooh,
Oh no.
something new.
It's gonna be fun. It'll be fun. A little segment we got. This is the Big Bad Workshop, the Longbox Heroes Prestige Tick figure. I have been wanting a Tick figure. I was at Hidden Temple Toys, sponsor of the show, and at Hidden Temple they had the old Shocker Toys Tick figure, which still looked really good to this day. And I think people have been clamming up as they say, for a Tick figure.
Oh yeah, I mean, I have been a big Tick fan forever. I used to love the old cartoon. I used to run around just screaming "Spoon" everywhere I could. Just such a fun show, such a great, ridiculous character. And yeah, there's been a few interpretations of a figure, but I think this one is going to be really, really exciting. He looks fantastic. Looks like he's like we're jumping out of the page of the comics cartoon. Yes, I am excited. What about you, David?
Yeah, as a day one buy, ticks off all the boxes of what I wanted a Tick.
I saw what you did there.
He's a clever guy, that Larry
Mhm.
David.
Oh my gosh, such sharp wit.
So this is their a Longbox Heroes Prestige line. So they have a long box, which is their 3 3/4 of sort of a 5 POA type figures. This is their articulated, 1/12 scale figures. And not only was Tick shown off, this was shown off at Toylanta, then put up for pre-orders on Big Bad. This was showed off the Rocketeer, and
Rocketeer.
I know there's a loose collectibles Rocketeer, which looks awesome. That's a 2 pack. I never got that one, but it looked great. And now I was just sort of waiting for a single release Rocketeer. And now they are doing that one along with the Black Phantom and Onslaught Troopers. You guys like the Rocketeer?
Yeah, I love the Rocketeer. I was always a fan. I didn't know that that wasn't a true, vintage pulp hero. I thought he was around, and then recently, not recently, but a little while ago, I found out that he was just made up in the '90s for the movie to emulate that kind of thing, which I thought was pretty cool because they did a great job because it really felt like he was like a classic character from back in the day. So yeah, he's a really fun one. I enjoyed the movie as a kid, and so I wouldn't mind having him sitting on the shelf with some of the other cool pulp heroes I have here.
That's interesting. I thought the same thing. I thought he was, like you said, one of these old pulpy heroes. But I mean,
Nope.
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 You were
Fool me once, Michael.
Laszlo.
Yeah, same thing. I love that movie as a kid, and then the Black Guardian looks really cool. I think it'll be cool how the hero and villain, those two. I'll probably
Yeah,
pass on the hoodlums, the backup villains, but
you gotta have your hoodlums.
But who's he gonna beat up, Mike? Larry?
I just want the epic battle between the number one bad guy
Look
and
at
good guy.
that one. The more you know. Cool.
The
Cool.
fuck is that?
That's the Rocketeer, baby. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
I'm glad they're working. I was trying to use them earlier and they weren't working.
I think now we're functioning now. Now we're getting
Oh, okay.
everything. We're doing this one pretty early, so it took us about 2 hours to sort of adjust our
Yeah, Mike, he had to wipe the gunk off his face. Larry, took
lot
a
of guns.
long time off of his morning, bathroom hiatus.
I have a system.
He does, but we're here. We're doing it.
We're ready. We're ready. We're ready.
No, but yeah, so this is fantastic. But on the more sour note, Longbox Heroes also had to cancel their next wave of figures due to tariffs.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I mean, I wasn't going to do any of these. These are what, like 7, 8 point, whatever they are. They're like little small scale figures, and they were doing a Kickstarter for the Wave 2 because they had said Wave 1 hadn't made that much money, so they thought Kickstarter was the way to go, and they had to cancel it because of the tariffs, the impending tariffs that are coming down the pipeline, and so it's being felt throughout the industry.
Yeah, I
In
think
general.
what's interesting is that I think with the tariffs, it's like we heard them, and there's like all this kind of talk that it's kind of like a tactic, and we'll see,
Yeah.
things improve, and it's just going to be a little difficult for a little bit here and there, and but now we're actually seeing some ramifications in a lot of different areas, and especially here in the toy community, we're noticing that a lot of companies are, losing the capability to produce things. I mean, we have this one here, Longbox Heroes being, and I know there's a few other people like Meta Travelers who
Yeah.
is putting their legendary line out.
Legendary line.
People
Yeah, it's sort of an
sent
it's
a message
yeah.
saying, "Hey, we're gonna have to put this on hold because there's no way we can produce these with these tariffs in place because they'll lose, their shirts, which is pretty crazy." And then you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay, well that's one." But then, even the smaller ones like your buddy Wade, he also mentioned that he's having issues and maybe postponing his Kickstarter for the
Right.
next
Yeah.
40th one.
Yeah, just all these, independent toy makers, people that don't have, Hasbro and Mattel manufacturing their stuff. You're just sort of in limbo right now, right? And
Yeah.
you don't know exactly what's going to happen, but you can't really start your business now. And it was also sort of permeating into Beyithirr and Four Horsemen. They put out a release saying, "Hey, we have no intention of charging more."
Yeah, I think a lot of people were worried about Beyithirr's campaign being in the middle of these tariff things, and they were afraid of what could happen. Would it get canceled? Would they have to pay more than they're already paying? And that price tag was pretty high.
Yeah,
So I'm sure people would not have liked that. But I was surprised that they just came out. Four Horsemen just came out and said, we don't really know what's going to happen a year and a half from now when this thing will be released. So we're not gonna worry about it. We're gonna wait and see, what it looks like, during that time, but they had no intention of, charging more money for this thing, to the consumer. So that
right.
was pretty awesome of them to say. So, hats off for that, but yeah, it's, the toy market right now is up in the air because I know the big companies, like you said, Hasbro, Mattel, they're not gonna have too much trouble weathering this. They're gonna raise prices. They're gonna do what they gotta do. They have the money to keep going, but I'm afraid for a lot of these independent toy companies that, don't have it, and they have to rely a lot on these, like,
Yeah.
Kickstarter, have to, like, have these, like, production costs already kind of mapped out so, they don't lose their shirts, and with this stuff kinda being so, volatile right now, I see a lot of these independent and smaller companies struggling figure out what they're gonna do with their line. So my fear is that we're gonna lose a lot of these independent toy companies and really cool toy lines.
Yeah, yeah. Here's the president and CEO, Greg Ahern of Toy Association, saying everyone is really in scramble mode. This is going to have massive negative repercussions for the consumer and for our industry. And it's sort of in flux at this moment. Like you said perfectly, independent makers are they're sort of in limbo right now. You can't really go forth and set a business plan because you don't know what's going to happen right now. There's sort of
Mhm.
this boogeyman that's sort of scaring you at the moment, and also scaring consumers because now we're like, okay, so now everything's gonna go, it's 50% more expensive, everything, and it's already expensive, and you're seeing it with prices on Big Bad. You're seeing it on Hasbro. You're seeing it with the Spider-Man. Spider-Man 3 was $30.
Yeah.
That's just a simple
It's
figure.
It's ridiculous, and, like, it's sad because I think the point, the people why people get into toy collecting is because it's supposed to be an inexpensive, fun little hobby to distract yourself from a lot of these kinda negative things in the world, and you can just kind of enjoy little things from your childhood or little things you find, interesting nowadays,
Yeah.
and to have it kinda seep into the toy community and affect us in that way. And I've heard people be like, "Well, if you can't afford it, don't buy it." It's not really, something you need to be buying if
Yeah,
you
but now you're getting priced out. Now it's just
but you're like, "Well, that kinda stinks because, those are the things that kinda, like, help you get through life, and just kinda like, well, have a little bit of joy here and there in getting these things." And also as like, being a sponsor of Hidden Temple Toys, who is a smaller, retailer, it's kinda hard on us too to know what the future is gonna look like. What are people gonna be willing to buy? How are we going to be able to source our toys at a decent price? And,
Mhm.
if a lot of customers feel that, they need to save their money for, necessities, you know, um, it's difficult, because we don't really know what the future is going to look like. But our hope is that these things get straightened out. That people will be able to continue to enjoy their hobbies, and the companies will be able to still give us fun products at not such insane prices. And there's like who was it? Jack Specific came out, and they were talking about
Jazzwares,
yeah, or Jazzwares. That was
the
right. They
chief
were
brand
talking
officer,
about how
Jeremy
they're trying
Paddlewater.
to get toys out of the tariffs, which I thought was fantastic. So. Um, I hope it's good, and I think it's good for people's morale to be able to still enjoy their hobbies and do the things that bring them happiness during such turbulent times, especially with this, economy being in such a big state of flux and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I can see why a lot of people are kind of, on the edge of their seats here, figuring out where this economy is going.
LD, is it doom and gloom for you, or are you seeing sunshine and rainbows at the end of the horizon?
That's the thing. You can hope that this is a couple week thing, and just already tariffs have been threatened, taken down, postponed, all this stuff. But the doom part is the big companies that we talked about are going to be fine. They're going to raise those prices. They're never going to drop them back down to help us out when the
That's
tariffs
the
go.
big
When all
thing.
this
Yeah.
instability goes away, they're not going to be like, "Oh, we'll put it back to what it was."
No.
So we're the doom part is we're stuck at the higher levels for these toys. The
Yeah.
$30 for Marvel Legends look like that's going to be the standard price now.
Yeah.
Mattel, when they come out with their DC line, now we can guarantee they're going to be $30 now. They're not
Yeah.
going to be less.
The new normal. Yeah, for
But
sure.
one silver line maybe is people look more at the vintage stuff, go through their collections to sell some of their stuff to get to afford stuff or look for stuff to fill in their collections with older stuff. So I mean, luckily the big boom of all these toys being manufactured the last few years is there's a lot of stuff out there and people can find other ways to still collect and not have to get the brand new stuff. But hopefully that's just a temporary thing and we can keep getting awesome new toys and at good prices. But
Yeah.
it's not looking very fun right now in that aspect.
Speaking of toys, here's a quick word from our sponsor.
My toys. Hidden Temple Toys. We're happy to be the sponsor here at Figures Not Included. We got all sorts of great products. Actually, we're having a big import. What would you call it? Bonanza this week. We're getting a lot of stuff in. So if you guys are looking for those, delicious Japanese import figures, hit us up. Check our website. Come visit us. Summer, North Carolina. HiddenTempleToys.com. We got some really cool stuff. Check us out.
You got the toys.
Yeah, beat that tariff deadline.
Beat that tariff. Get your toys now.
I think that's how you should do your promotions. It's like beat the tariff.
I know, right? Hey,
Yeah.
you guys worried about tariffs? Well, get in there on the ground floor before they take. Come get your stuff.
Get on the gravy train before the government takes your toys away. And you got to do like a whole prohibition era sort of thing.
I know, right?
A little speakeasy for toys.
Yeah, a little speakeasy for your figures.
That could be a cool thing. People might like that.
Exactly. You can wheel Mezcos in wooden barrels, and that's how you deal
Yeah,
with
there's no toys in here, just booze.
it. Just booze. That's exactly right.
Well, speaking about spending, being conservative on your toy spending, big news out of Four Horsemen Studios. They just wrapped up their Beyithirr campaign. So
They did. They did. Congratulations to them. I mean, come on, man. That dragon got funded, fully funded.
Not
A
only
final
fully
number here.
funded, but they achieved every stretch goal. They surpassed it by like 962
Yep.
dragons. So yeah,
162
congratulations
dragons.
to Four Horsemen. I wish we would have taken the little clip, Michael. Maybe you can stick it in here of us at the reveal at Legions Con when they pulled the curtain and showed Beyithirr. We were just emotional and crying, holding each other as we saw it, grandeur and beauty.
I mean, you were just so anticipating that dragon. The whole reason you went to Legion Con was like, this is the year, man. This is the year. They've been teasing it. It's finally going to happen. And they waited to the very last moment of the panel, which was, a 5-hour panel.
They really knew how to build it up. Yeah, that panel was insane.
It was great, though. It was great. That last moment made it all worth it.
It did. It was so beautiful. It was so exciting. And now we're one step closer to obtaining this amazing mythical creature. I am excited. I'm happy that that's moving forward. I'm happy that the Four Horsemen seem to, not be worried about any production issues. And hopefully, now it's just a waiting game. Countdown begins for shipping, and we'll get these guys. Hopefully, sooner rather than later. So I am ecstatic about this.
Right.
Um,
The date is 2026 next year. Beyithirr will
yeah,
be in
yeah.
our hands.
But yeah, fantastic. You know,
You got
everything.
two? One,
So many
two?
goodies available with this thing.
Which one did you get? How many did you get?
Are you talking to me? Oh,
Oh, I'm talking both y'all.
oh, yeah, I got two.
Two.
Yeah, I got one, and I got the extra head set with the burning knight. I skipped on the wings.
You
Saved a
skipped on the
little cash.
wings.
I
Why
skipped
didn't you just
a
go all
little
in?
cash. All this tariff uncertainty. I gotta save some money.
Not me. I'm balls to the wall here with this dragon. I wanted everything.
Fiscally
No holding
irresponsible.
back. Doesn't matter. I'll live in the box, it ships in if I have to.
You got
But I'll
two. You got two, so you can put one box on your upper half.
exactly.
Of the
We're
room.
gonna a 2-story box house, Michael.
Exactly. That's
I
what you
mean, I'll
need.
be living large in the gutter with my
You
boxes
really
and
will.
dragons.
I'm excited though, because this is dragon is the one of 5 pillars. So with the success of this one, I can guarantee they'll be doing another one. So
Yeah.
Oh
hopefully,
yeah, they'll definitely get to
I'm
another one.
excited to have a bunch of
Now we need
dragons, and my kids won't have a room to sleep in, but I'll
we
have all these dragons eventually.
now we need the pillar of the east.
This dragon gave you guys a bunch of pillars, and
Yeah, how many dragons did you order, Michael?
none.
Oh,
Oh
I
my
had I
goodness.
had the discussion with the missus,
Oh.
and we talked about it. And her first reaction was, ew, no.
Oh.
And it went down. I mean, I felt I made a strong argument for Beyithirr, but there's nothing tougher than a dragon than your wife.
Oh
So,
my gosh.
and it was
Yeah.
funny. I was talking to her about it, and the way I was speaking about it, it said it reminded her of My Size Barbie.
There
And
was a girl who dreamed Barbie was fine.
her reaction to Beyithirr.
Yep. Yep.
My size Barbie. I love your hair.
And that I just felt
Beautiful
like a little
hair.
girl, it's like
I
all the
mean,
girls enjoying
that's
the
what
fight.
you want to see in your man, you know? You want to look into his eyes and just see the beautiful little princess playing with his Barbie.
Exactly. This is that's you. You get Beyithirr.
My
Ah!
size Barbie doll
Oh,
was
Beyithirr!
so technically
My
really cool.
size Beyithirr.
There was
Oh,
a
I'd be
girl who
all
Exactly.
dreamed
like that
Barbie was
with that Beyithirr. I don't care what anybody says. I'll be wearing my little princess dress, riding that thing around the house.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's a shame, Michael. That's a damn shame. I'm sorry that
Try to fight the good fight.
she denied you. That
No,
is.
no, but at the end of the day, it's sort of the space of it all, and trying to figure out that sort of nightmare. I live in a small 2-bedroom apartment in New York, which is luxurious to have 2 bedrooms. But even then, just the sheer mass of that thing. And actually, Larry brought up a good point, and I had thought about it 2 days before the campaign ended, with just getting the headset. Just the fire set and having a cool dial with just a head shooting out the flames and getting the flame
Yeah.
light. But I
That was a cool thing that the Horseman did that let people order just the add-on packs if they wanted to. And you figured, oh, you can only order them if you order the dragon, but no, they're like, hey, well, we're making them. You can get them if you want them, even if you don't want the big old dragon. So, you could get some of those figures, that came with them. Because I know one of the most exciting figures was that flaming knight that came with the fire.
yeah.
I think a lot of people are just willing to pay the money for that particular figure, and then hey, you get a cool extra dragon head with some fire effects. So yeah, it's a win-win.
Lose for me 'cause I got nothing.
oh,
But
Oh
excited for
man,
you guys. Excited for everyone else that got it. It's
that's what
super cool.
happens when you put your balls in your wife's purse.
All right, we need to relax. All right, I need to cut that out, or else I'm gonna get cut.
You're gonna end up like
You're gonna
Alan
be.
Rickman in Dogma. I think I sent you a picture of that. You
You
should put it
did.
up here.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up an image of me, which is also one of, and not ironically, one of my favorite movies.
Totally
It's one of the.
ironic.
It's just one of the movies I saw when I was younger. That was vulgar and rude and crude, and
It's
I
funny
loved
too
it.
because Alan Rickman. Well, no, not Alan Rickman. I'm sorry. Kevin.
Me holding my figure.
There you are.
Can I get a
That's
dragon, please?
this is you asking for the dragon, and you immediately losing your bits. No,
That's
Michael.
me holding one of the Mythic Legion Knights in my hand too. Be like, it looks so cool. See,
look how great my dragon would be. And she's like, nope.
Shame.
Oh, poor Michael. Poor Michael.
I got
But,
Rickman, man. I got Rickman.
you know, I'll let you play with mine, Mikey. How's that sound?
That would be great. Can I play with your
Awesome.
dragons, guys?
Of course. Always, Michael.
Anytime.
Appreciate that. Thank you, guys. You guys are the best. Well, speaking of playing, I have a game.
Let's play, Michael.
Play a game. It's a game that I devised, and I've been wanting to do some of this stuff. I'm hokey like that, and I appreciate you guys.
You're a hokey little pokey.
Enabling my hokey behavior. So we're gonna play a game called Hulk and the Fool.
Whoa, look at the graphics.
We spared no expense
Oh
with
my
the
God.
graphics.
This
now.
is high production value. I'm actually tingly with excitement.
I would hope so. So we're gonna do it in sort of it's the two-parter. Okay, the first
right.
part we're gonna determine who plays the actual game.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
game within a game.
A game to play a game.
Yeah. So
Who will
how
win?
we're
Who
gonna
will
do
survive?
it.
Is it like Squid Games? Is one of us gonna lose our lives?
One of you are gonna die,
Never to be seen on the
Oh,
podcast again.
and you will
We
bequeath
are-
all your figures to the show. So
Wow.
that's how this
High
works.
stakes.
So let's play the game, shall we?
Let's play.
do it.
Let's play.
Alan Rickman. With Alan Rickman.
With your host, Alan Rickman.
R.I.P.
Alan
R.I.P.
Rickman.
Alan Rickman with no testes.
No testing. So this is how the game is going to go. I'm going to show you a series of photos.
Okay.
Let me get Alan Rickman dude body out of here.
Sweet
I'm going to
Alan
show you
Rickman.
a series of photos, and you're going to tell me what company makes that Hulk figure. So we're going to
Ooh.
alternate. So I think you guys can decide who goes first.
Larry, I'll bow out down. I'll bow to you, as they say.
Bow to bow.
I'll do my best.
He will do his best. All right. So I'm going to bring up the photos here, and we're going to try this out. I think it's going to be fun.
It better be Michael, because this is just
Yeah.
dumb. You're out.
I'm out. I'm done.
You're
This is
out.
all on you.
All right. Here we go. Let's play.
Wow, 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 wow.
I need
that's
my
easy.
music. I need my music.
That's
Perfect. Turn it down a little bit.
I already
the
got it.
studio.
Hasbro.
Well, wait. We're gonna. Here we go.
No. Hasbro.
Okay, that's 1 point for Larry. Ned,
Oh, that's Marvel Select.
1 point for Ned. Larry,
Can I steal?
Hasbro.
wrong. Ned,
It's hard to see. It's kind of small. My assumption, it looks like
Here you
Hot
go.
Toys.
correct. Hot
Wow.
Toys.
Good
2
steal.
points, Ned.
This is Ned's.
Here's the next one. This goes to Ned too.
Oh, that's easy. Migo.
Migo, correct. 3 points, Ed. 1 point, Larry. Next one.
Toy Biz?
Correct. Toy
Oh,
Biz.
Yep, I knew that one. I actually had that in the shop.
Only a hidden temple toys. All right. Next one.
Available at Hidden Temple Toys. Oh, wow. Oh man. Is that? It's hard to see. It's so small. Is that Figma?
Incorrect, Larry.
Is that Diamond Select?
Incorrect. Neither.
What?
It is SH figure.
Yeah, I was gonna say I told you the
Oh.
Figma or the SH figure art. I couldn't decide which one to
I had
go
a
with.
chance to
first.
steal there, Larry.
Nah, I
But you
failed.
blew it. Here you go, Larry. For you.
I have no idea.
I know.
Go ahead, Ed.
That's Toy Biz.
That's Toy Biz. That's right. 5
I have that one.
5 points for you. Okay. That's another one for Ed here. I think if he gets 7 points, he moves on. Oh. All right, here we go. Next one.
That's a hard one. I'm gonna say Marvel Select.
Incorrect, Larry. These get progressively harder.
I wish the pictures could be bigger. It's hard for me to see them.
Yeah.
I need my readers.
Here we go.
There you go. That's a little bit better.
Your readers.
I didn't
Yeah,
bring my readers.
papers.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mezco.
Oh, I remember Mesco doing a Gladiator Hulk.
Yeah,
If you guys are watching the show, play along, put your answers in the comments, let us know how you did. Maybe you can join the next game. Larry. It's a tricky one.
Hot Toys?
Incorrect. Ned?
Man, he's got soft goods and everything. Mezco?
NECA.
NECA did this? Wow.
NECA did that.
That's I don't even remember. That's impressive, NECA.
That's a really good one. All right. We need one more, Ed, and you are in the next round.
Oh, that's Marvel Select.
Incorrect. Larry.
Really?
Oh, man. I don't recognize that Hulk. I guess this will be a guess. Toy Biz.
This one is Toy Biz. Correct.
Oh, yeah,
Toy Biz
I knew it all along.
Icons.
I was very confident.
Oh, that's the icon one.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, Larry, you need to get a clean sweep here, Larry. So Ed's comfortably in the lead. He needs one more. You're at, I think, 3 points, Larry. So we're gonna give you the next two to make it more even. On you, Larry.
Yeah, I'm trying.
You really squinting. You should write your readers, man.
I forgot my readers.
Oh, not good.
Yeah, I do not know this one.
Ned, for the steal and the win.
Toy Biz?
No, this is Hasbro. This is the first wave of Hulk figures.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Took over the license. All right, Larry. There's only 3 more options, so you got a clean sweep now.
Ugh.
I mean, I can give you a clue.
You're giving me a clue or you gave me a clue?
I'm giving you a clue right now.
Oh, okay.
You can have your Hulk this way. And you can have it your way.
It's a McDonald's Hulk?
Incorrect. Ned.
Burger King.
Burger King.
Oh, no.
And Ned.
That is the game show king.
He is
Woo!
Oh,
Hulk Master.
that wasn't too bad.
Call
was
me
it?
Maestro.
Call me Maestro. That was Hulk and the Fool.
That was actually really exciting, Michael. I can't believe you put together such a fantastic game for us.
I did. I have a whole other trivia part. I don't know if you guys want to do it or not. We could try it.
No.
Oh, I think it's enough. That's enough gaming for one day.
Leave
I
everyone
think it was
wanting more.
fun. We'll save it for the next
We'll
game.
save it
The next
for the
show.
next.
The next
We'll
one.
save it
Do
for the
another
next one. You know,
That
I
was
put it
that was
all-
too epic. They need a rest from all the.
Yeah, that was intense. That was intense. So I need to give you a better win though. Music. He did it. He did it. Amazing. So good. So good. Great guy. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate
Very well put together, Michael.
It's okay. It was all right.
I
We'll
love
get better. We're gonna get better and better. But that was super fun. Yeah.
Love that new figure smell.
What?
What?
Oh, snap.
Oh,
I got a package.
Someone's got a package. I got a package too.
Oh, well, what are we going to talk about today on New Figure Smell, Michael?
New figure smell. We mentioned that we were at WonderCon and we had a marvelous time. And what was so great about that was that we picked up a few things.
We got an early hands-on Street Fighter Sagat figure from Jada Toys.
Look at that bad boy.
Yeah.
Now, this thing has so much weight. It's incredible what they did with a $30 figure like this. It's really good. What were your impressions when you first got it out of the box?
I was super excited. I am a big Sagat fan. He's one of my favorite guys to play with in the game, so I love collecting him. And I was very excited. I mean, I've been really, really fond of how Jada is making their figures. So I was expecting this figure to just really deliver, and boy, did it deliver. He is a just really fun, amazingly well-made figure. So much fun to pose, to play with, and the sculpting is spot on. The craftsmanship is fantastic. He is really one of my favorites I got right now for sure to put into the collection. Really,
I mean, we've been clamoring for a Sagat like
mhm.
this, you know? Like
Oh yeah,
it's been so needed for
yeah,
such a
super
long time.
posable, just super well done. I've been very, very happy with it.
This is just the
Um,
size of the box, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
he's a big one, he's a big guy. And I was very, very happy with him. I love the fact that Jada's really like sticking with the scale, and they really made him a towering, monstrosity of a fighter compared to like the scale of Ryu, Chun-Li, all the ones that they've done before. So man, it's just so much fun to see these figures come to life on your shelf, and to be in scale, and to be so much fun to just kind of mess around with and pose.
we talked about, and we were talking with June about, our love for Street Fighter and these toys. How we were collecting, stuff like Rosaris figures and Soda and all those things.
Yeah,
And we
we're
were
talking
looking.
about kind of like the history of Street Fighter figures and how cool they've been, because we've been Street Fighter fans forever. And it always reminds me of that story that we told you about how we couldn't find these figures, so you found them on eBay.
Yep.
You know, eBay was just getting going, really. It hadn't been around that long, but you bought some bootleg figures. They were like the worst quality. They just kind of fell apart as soon as we took them out of the box. They were like, half the size of what the figure was supposed to be.
It was terrible. I thought I got a good deal. It was $15 for 5 figures, and I was like, "Oh no, these are the authentic Rosaris ones." And they look like the Hulk Burger King toys.
I know. And I asked you like a bunch of times, "Are you sure this is legit?" And you're like,
Yeah, of
"Yeah,
course.
man."
Hey, I got you. I got you.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
$20, lit on fire.
But it was the memories we made that
Oh yeah, the story pays for
story
itself.
paid for
So
itself, really. So
I'm awesome. So yeah, you also got the Target exclusive Guile here in Player 2 Blue.
I love it. I love the blue color on Gaio. It's one of my favorites. I think I like it more than the green. The same exact figure, but I just like how that blue looks.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just kind of the point of, Street Fighter and player colors. You get to choose the one you think looks the coolest. And I agree with you. The blue tone on this one, just like Jean-Claude Van Damme in the movie, went with the blue. I like it. It
I,
looks good.
would you want Jada or anyone to do movie accurate Street Fighter figures?
I would say yes and no. It's
Yes
like
and no.
I would feel obligated to. I mean, that would be fun, but it just seems like such a terrible collection to have.
But it's so
But
great at the same time.
exactly, but at the same time, it would be so great because it's a collection of movie Street Fighter figures.
Come on, man. Raul
Uh,
Julia, Bison.
Yeah, Raul
oh my
Julia
god,
for
yeah,
sure. I want that Raul
it would be
Julia
so
figure.
funny. I would like to collect it ironically.
Yeah. Laszlo, how do you feel about the Jada stuff?
I love the Jada stuff. I can't wait to get my Sagat from Hidden Temple Toys. I'm waiting for that to come in.
Oh
I
yeah.
Yeah,
was able to see Ed Sagat. It is heavy, but he moves well. The
Sure is.
joints move awesome. All the Jada figures are awesome. And like they've said before in your interview and everything, when they improve on something, the next figures all have that improvement.
Yeah.
So by the end of this line, that's gonna be like the ultimate figure. Whichever the last one is released is gonna be amazing. The Blanca coming out, I can't wait to get that Blanca because it's probably gonna be so awesome.
Yeah, the Blanca looks incredible. This whole line has been
Oh
such.
yeah, we'll definitely show the Blanco when we get it on here. I see some cool reviews of some people already having it in hand, and the mobility of it, like you can really push his head all the way back, so you can get those really good crouching figure poses. He's got the rubbery hair, so it doesn't take away from the posability of it. It's gonna be a really good figure. But yeah, this Scott figure it was just gorgeous. It's really captures the character. I'm excited to have him battle it out with Ryu. Hopefully, we talked to June about this. Hopefully, we'll get a bloody version of him, with a busted open chest from, that dragon punch delivered by Ryu in the beginning of the animated
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. We mentioned it to June, and he was
Yeah,
very coy. He was like, "I don't know, it would be cool." So
maybe
it
San
could happen.
Diego.
It could happen. But yeah,
Well,
this Sagat is
Perfect.
yes,
yeah.
I would definitely say that. Very excited to see it. Glad to get it early in our hands. I think I have a couple that I brought back with me. They'll be early at the shop, but we do have these on order as well. So we'll have plenty of them later on when the full
Mhm.
release comes out. So we'll be getting this
Little,
one,
little
Blanco.
appetit to the main course.
Yeah, it's a little appetizer for a lucky person to come in and snag it quickly. But yeah, super, super cool figure. Super excited to get it early. I could have waited, but I couldn't pass the chance to get one of my favorite fighters, in hand. So yeah, I definitely grabbed one for myself.
Yeah, they're just super fun figures. At the end of the day, like it's
Yeah,
one thing to get the figures of a game or a show or a comic book that you've been wanting forever, but it's another thing when they're just excellent figures. When they move
exactly.
super well, it's they're like super delightful figures to hold in your hand. They move really well. They articulate super smoothly. There's a lot of attention to detail and there's a lot of care put into this. This is someone that actually, and again, we were talking to June and we talked a lot off camera too, which is unfortunate because there's so much juicy tidbits he gave us or just interesting info. He's been working at Jada for over 10 years and all he's been wanting to do is a Street Fighter line, this line right here, and to make it a reality and to feel that we're a year, maybe like 12 calendar months from having a full Street Fighter 2 line is pretty insane.
Yeah, it's gonna be fantastic to get them all on here. But in the meantime, it's been cool having these newer figures. But let's talk a little bit about what got us to this, version of Sagat and what came before it in the little piece we like to call.
The yellowing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So we're talking about Sagat, and we're talking about our love for all things Street Fighter and Street Fighter toys. What better way to talk about it than with this look at this guy. I mean, for the time, this was so cool. The Rosaris Street Fighter figures.
Right. So yeah, these were kind of what we were talking about when we're talking about Mikey buying them on eBay. We were talking about the early. These are probably the best Street Fighter figures were around during that time. Rheosaurus, now defunct company, made these fantastic Street Fighter figures. They were semi posable. They put some really good joints in them here and there, but some of them were more static. Like I remember the Ryu that I have. He didn't have a lot of range of motion,
No, he didn't.
but they did have some joints here and there. Like you can see, this one doesn't have elbow joints or wrist joints, but he has knee joints. He's got like roll. What do you call it? Like a ball joint shoulders. No
Yeah.
neck joints and stuff. So they were very limited, but still, the sculpting on these things were just so cool. I mean, you can look at this guy and he just looks like a beast. This is actually a player 2. I was never able to find a player 1 version of Sagat.
Mm-hmm.
So I have this version of him, but he's still pretty awesome. Huge figure. He's imposing. I'll put the Jada one here so you can kind of see a little bit of a size comparison. He's still bigger than the Jada one, and we know that the Jada one is pretty big on its own.
The Restars is sort of Storm collectible size, probably, right? Around like
Yeah,
8
and so
inches.
just to show you, there's Storm Collectibles.
There you go. Yes, there you go. I mean, Storm is actually a little bigger. So
Storm is bigger, yeah, and it is fully articulated. So,
crazy.
a fantastic, rendition of Sagat. He's probably one of my favorite ones I've had so far. Just really great job. I really loved the way that Storm Collectibles was doing Street Fighter figures. Their 8-inch line was just so cool. I'm excited though to see their 1/12 line coming out.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see how imposing this figure was. Such a great figure. And then just to add a little bit more for you guys to see, another great iteration was the SH Figure Arts version of Sagat.
Look at that little guy.
And you can see how little his scale is compared to these big behemoths of a guy.
Just a
So
baby.
what I love to see is just the difference in paint applications. And this was something that people commented a lot about the SH Figure Arts version of Sagat is how yellow he was. I mean,
Talk about
that
yellow,
guy,
man. Naturally
he's
yellow.
got the jaundice. He's got to lay off the alcohol. He's messing up his liver.
Oh man,
seriously.
I know that skin,
So,
man.
so you can see all that, and yeah, just super great figures. Like I said, I've always been a big fan of Sagat. And then I don't know if we can put this guy in there so you guys can kind of come on.
There's a whole Sagat party over there.
Oh yeah,
Sagat Fest
I
2025.
want to show you guys how cool this looks, but
No, it's just, I mean, you got the whole history of Sagat figures right here, which is
I've lost
amazing.
my
You got Rasaras from the 90s and 2000s, and then I mean, there's such a gap because you go to Rasaras and then you have Soda. I know you have the Soda one laying around somewhere.
I do have the Soda one. I wasn't able to find it for this little segment, but there you go, guys. You can kind of see it.
Yeah.
The old and the new.
Yeah. I mean, that's Storm Collectible to me. It's going to be crazy if they're able to basically downscale that Sagat to 112, which they're doing with the arena stuff. I don't think my mind's ready to comprehend something like that, but this Jada Sagat is still incredible.
Yeah, Jada Sagat. I mean, you can see it. It really stands out against these other really well done figures. So you're getting a really high quality figure at such a great price with this Sagat.
It's great stuff, man. Great stuff. Laszlo, did you ever get into the Rosara stuff, Street Fighter?
No, I was never able to. I started to try to get some when Ed had already gotten them, and they were hard to get. They were not easy to find.
Sorry, guys.
And like Ed was just saying, that's what's
It's so
awesome
excited.
about-
He's gonna get so excited.
I was just really, really excited.
Very excited. This is the God
The
Street
price
Fighter.
point.
You know,
The price point on Jada is what's so awesome because it compares well with these figures.
Yeah, I mean, look at this Soda. Look at this, not Soda, the Storm Collectibles one. I mean, you don't really get much except for maybe he's a little bit bigger scale, but quality wise, I mean, he has a better neck movement from the Jada. I mean, the Jada has better neck movement from the
Yeah.
Sagat figure,
Yeah.
and all the other joints seem to match up. They got the same range of motion, even the toe joints there. So, I mean, just fantastic figure for the price point.
100%.
You can't beat what Jada's doing. I am
can't.
very, very excited to get the complete lineup of Street Fighter figures because this is definitely one of my favorite toy lines and just quality. That was the thing about the Soto ones that we talked about too. They were such a great toy line, but if you took them out of the package, they all fall
Oh,
apart.
they're disintegrated. Yeah.
Yeah, they were terrible. And so it was fun to have them. I remember you had like every figure in that collection, and it was so cool to see it all together, but you can never really mess with them. And now to have a line like Jada's that just does an insanely good job of capturing the character, but the quality of the toys are outstanding. I mean, this is probably the best Street Fighter line available.
I mean, absolutely is the
past,
best Street Fighter line
present,
available. Storm
possibly
Collectible.
future.
Yeah, it could be. We'll see what Storm Arena does because the thing with Storm is they'll announce a lot of stuff, but then you have to wait a long time, so you won't have a complete line, which you don't have with Storm. But some people would say obviously the Storm ones are they're more expensive, they're bigger, and it's hard to beat that type of figure. But man, for $25-$30. Pound for pound, the Jada stuff it does it for me. I love the Storm stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. Storm Collectibles is super impressive. That Sagat is towering and massive, and the paint detail, everything, the shading, all of it.
Yeah. It's a great figure, but I'm talking about for the price difference,
exactly,
and for the quality. You can't go wrong with the Jada stuff either. I mean, it is just amazing.
And this is not even going to be their biggest figure. T-Hawk is going to be their biggest figure.
Exactly.
So just imagine the size of that. It might reach
Yeah.
levels of a Storm.
Yeah, T-Hawk is supposed to be taller than Sagan and like as big or as wide as Zangief. So he's going to be massoid. I am excited to see that one.
Yeah, I know it's sacrilege to put Jada and Storm sometimes in the same conversation, but
Hey, I mean, I don't see why. I think, it's just toy for toy, take everything out. They are very comparable figures. I don't really see why they wouldn't be in the same league, and it's amazing that Jada can do it at the price point they're doing it, So yeah, I'm a fan. Hats off to Jada for delivering such quality and well put together figures at such a great price. I mean, talk about value for your buck.
No, and I think pretty much why Storm Collectibles is going to 1/12 is because of how successful Jada is.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely,
if
100%.
Jada hadn't knocked it out of the park with these figures, we wouldn't be getting the Storm ones. So now we're getting two 1/12 awesome Street Fighter collectibles, hopefully.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what competition does. It's good. It's
Yeah,
good for
it
these
breeds better figures.
It breeds better figures. Absolutely. We see that with Storm now upping their game, wanting to get into 112, which is great for us because now we have more stuff to choose from. And they're not only doing Street Fighter, they're doing Darkstalkers, King of Fighters. So there's a whole gamut of fighting characters that they're going to do, which is great for us. And they're doing it at a very reasonable price of $25-$30 per figure.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I am very, very excited. And so, yeah, you can see these figures are really, really fun, and it's just that's the name of the game here at Figures Not Included. It's like toys are such a great way to just enjoy and have a good time and just have fun playing with little plastic men.
Yeah. I love playing with men. Plastic men. Sorry.
No judgment here.
No judgment here. Thank you guys. Thank you for giving me my safe space. Great stuff, man. I mean, yeah, it never ends with toys. We talk about it, going into every sort of pre-production that we do for sure. Like, what are we going to talk about this week? And then something always happens. Something comes
Yeah.
up. Something pisses us off, and we talk about it. And that's what we do.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's always fun that there's always something new and amazing happening in the toy world. And we'll continue bringing you that fantastic information and just our fun, lovely
Fantastic information.
personalities
Yes.
for you guys to enjoy and consume.
The most fantastic. Any new products coming in to Hidden Temple this week?
Yeah, like I said on our earlier one, we got a lot of imports coming in.
I was listening.
You're looking for Mayfax and what are we? Oh, this stuff is SH Figure Arts and Figma and all that stuff. Check us out. We have DBZ. We gotta have what is it? DC Comics, some Street Fighter stuff. No, not
Mhm.
call it what's that other people?
The other people.
Marvel. There they are. The other people.
What's the other people?
Marvel. We also have some Marvel figures coming in. So yeah, very excited.
It's a lot. It's a lot to think
Yeah,
about
yeah.
on the spot.
Exactly. There's so many things happening in my mind right now. So
I'm just always impressed, man. We talked about the tariff stuff and how things are just getting more expensive, but people love their toys.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying earlier. It's like, hopefully we can keep those prices reasonable and we can keep production happening where people can afford to produce these things so we can continue to enjoy this fantastic hobby of ours. You know, and like I say, these are great toys that we're showing here, and I wish we could bring them to you guys and just let you guys mess with them. But as they say, right, Michael?
Figures not included. Take care, everyone. Follow us. Figures not included. Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe, comment. Appreciate it. We'll catch you in the next one.